We'll come to order to conduct a hearing on the challenges and opportunities in improving school nutrition. And I want to welcome all of our witnesses and the audience and the members of Congress to this hearing. Today's hearing will examine ways to improve the school nutrition and safety in the school food supply. Federal nutrition programs are intended to provide children with healthful food to eat at school. During the last reauthorization of the Child Nutrition and National School Lunch Acts, we required meals to be in line with the Department of Health and Human Services dietary guidelines. And we looked to sound nutritional science that suggested that incorporation of healthy grains into school meal programs, and we expanded the availability of fruits and vegetables. We also asked schools and communities to establish local wellness policies, looking at the role of nutrition standards and physical activity in creating a healthy learning environment for our students. It is becoming even more clear, however, that there is the declining federal investment in school nutrition programs has made it harder and harder for schools to provide healthy and nutritious meals for children that children want to eat. We welcome the recommendations of the School Nutrition Association. Those members have been leaders in this area. We are going to hear more today about how the programs are working and what we can do in the next year's reauthorization of the Child Nutrition Act and the National School Lunch Act to make them work even better. We know that when children don't have enough nutritious food to eat, it can have serious negative effects not just on their health, but on many aspects of their lives, including their ability to learn. We can't expect children to go to school on an empty stomach and still be able to succeed academically. Today we are also going to examine whether the appropriate controls were in place to ensure the safety of the school food supply. As is now well known, earlier this year the Humane Society of the United States announced that it had conducted an investigation into the Westland Hallmark Meat Company in Chino, California. The investigation revealed that workers were using electric shocks, forklift, water sprays to force non-ambulatory cows to stand so that they would pass inspection with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Under the law, non-ambulatory cows, often called downer cows, are not permitted to enter the food supply because of the risk they pose of salmonella, E. coli contamination, and carrying possibly mad cow disease. At the time that the Humane Society conducted this important investigation at Westland Hallmark Slaughterhouse, federal food safety inspectors were performing inspections at the slaughterhouse twice a day. These abuses apparently were happening right under the inspectors' noses, but it took a private charity organization to uncover them. It is unacceptable that the USDA so completely failed to do its job at this particular slaughterhouse. We cannot judge the USDA's inspection process as successful or effective if it allows tainted meat to enter the school food supply. The Humane Society's investigation prompted the largest meat recall by the USDA in the nation's history. In total, the USDA recalled over 140 million pounds of beef. More than one-third of that total was beef that was purchased for and distributed to schools by the USDA through the National School Lunch Program. It goes without saying that we have an obligation to ensure the safety of the food that our children eat. But this incident raises very alarming questions about the U.S. Department of Agriculture's ability to monitor the safety of meat in this country, including meat that is being served in the National School Lunch Program. I hope that we can begin to answer some of these questions in today's hearings. In addition, along with Congresswomen McCarthy and DeLauro, I have asked the U.S. Government Accountability Office to assess the overall effectiveness of USDA's work to ensure the safety of meat in the school food supply. Already, however, it is clear that more must be done to ensure the safety of meat of all customers, including school children, eat. For starters, the USDA needs to provide more assistance and guidance to states and localities related to local food safety issues. As it stands, schools only have a limited capacity to quickly track, handle, and dispose of dangerous foods, and apparently this capacity is in variance from school to school. Schools and parents should have every assurance that the food supplied to their kids' cafeterias by the federal government is safe